Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk about The Traitors Season 4, Episode 6. Before we begin, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notification so you'll know whenever I post. All right, so we start the episode off with everyone coming to breakfast, and then we find out that no one was sent home because no one took shields at the last mission that they did with the fountain. So everyone's excited and happy that no one was sent home. Ron gives them, sorry, not Ron, Alan gives them their little cryptic message about what the mission will be about today. So after that, everyone goes there in their little separate corners just to talk and whatnot. Colton tells Dorinda to pay attention to Lisa. He pulls Natalie to the side and he tells her his theory on why he thinks it's Lisa, and it's because she voted against Portia that first night, and housewives don't go against housewives or whatever. Natalie is just like, yeah, because I would never vote against a gamer or something like that. We see Ron and Rob playing a game. I think they were playing chess or something like that. And Ron is telling him how he doesn't think that he is a traitor, but he would be a good traitor because of all the reasons why he actually is a traitor. And Rob is feeling bad because he likes Ron and all this other stuff. We see Johnny he's talking to Tara and Mark and somebody else, and he's just like, he feels like it's the group is small enough now that they can get 8 faithfuls, and they can sway the round table. So he wants it to be Mark, Kristen, Tara, Maura, Rob, Candace, Stephen, Eric, and himself. So that's 9 people. So that would be a good number of people to go against, sway the round table or whatever. So he like tries to he pulls Kristen in, and he tells Kristen what his thought, what it is that he wants or whatever, and he's just like, they discuss Colton and how he keeps throwing people out there and they think that he's the ringleader or whatever. So they head to their mission, and one of the things Colton had told Natalie was pay attention to whoever um whenever we mention that Lisa may be the person, pay attention to whoever tries to get you off of her. So they're heading to the mission. Colton is in the car with Tara, Dorinda, and Rob, and he brings it up again that he thinks that it's Lisa. And he asks Rob, "What do you think?" And Rob is just like, it's plausible or whatever." So when they get to the mission. They're basically going to be in a cabin, and they're going to get 6 clues. After each clue, they have to run to the gravestone, the headstone, because they're at a grave site. So they have to go to the um, headstone of the person of the clue that they get, and they gonna bank 3K if they get it right. So they can bank up to, I'm sorry, 18K. Now there is one headstone that does have 2 shields. If anyone takes the shields, then they'll lose the money, or what, they'll lose the money on that round, I guess. I think that's what it was. So when they go into the cabin, they all discuss, are we going to take the shield? Jam wants to take the shield. Natalie is just like, hey, like they all say, no, we're not going to take it. Natalie says, if anyone takes a shield, they get banished tonight. Maura feels some type of way. So we start the mission. The first one was a Ouija board. They get a name, and they have to scramble the name or whatever. The first people to go out is Candace and Tara because they didn't want to be in the cabin in the first place. They get the name, but they get the name wrong because they heard Louise Clark, but it was Louise Black. So, because initially they first said Louise Clark, and then as their girls are running out, they say Black, but they don't hear that, so they don't bank the money. The next one, I can't remember what the next one was, but the next people that go out is Maura and Jam. They do find the shields. Jam wants to take it. Maura was just like, no, everyone said we weren't going to take it, so they don't. They get the money, so they bank 3K. The next set of people was It was Mark and Lisa. They get the money. Dorinda and Johnny go next. They get the money. Colton and Kristen go next. They get the money. And then Natalie and Steven go next. And then they get the money. So they banked 15K out of the 13K since Candace and Tara weren't able to get their money. So the people that were left are Rob, Eric, and Ron, and they're riding back to the house because once you leave the cabin, you don't go back in, and so nobody knows if they banked the money or not until everyone gets back home or whatever. So Ron, Rob, and Eric are in the car and they're discussing about what they think is going to happen at the round table. And Ron is just like, he knows he's going home. He's starting to feel comfortable with everybody. And again, Rob is starting to feel bad and everything and whatnot. So they get back to the house and they're all, they're eating their foods or whatever. And everyone is like in their little groups discussing what they think and all this other stuff. So at the house, Mara is talking to some people and they're talking about Natalie and how she was just like, oh, you'll get banished or whatever. And she felt some type of way about it. We see Johnny, he's talking with Mark and he's getting the people and he's just like, he thinks that, we should go for Colton because Colton is always throwing out a name. He's wrong. And he may be the ringleader. So they're just like, okay, we're going to get our 8 and we're going to say, boom, this is the person that we're going for. So I think it was Steven, Rob, Lisa, Candace and somebody else and Eric, I think they were all in the kitchen and they're all discussing, okay, so we are going for Ron. And Rob is just like, yeah, I don't think he's a traitor. We may not, maybe not. And he's given his reasons why. And Candace and Lisa are just looking at him like, are you okay? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, what's wrong? Like, and it's just like, for real, like, are you okay? Like, why? Like, if this is what y'all said y'all were gonna do, then go for it. I think they should have went for Colton, but yeah, but whatever. So, what's it called? Johnny gets his people. He pulls Candace and he pulls Rob, and he's like, okay, we're going for Colton. And Rob is just like, wait, what? Isn't this is what we always do? Like, we say we're doing one thing and then we switch it up at the last minute and all this other stuff. And then Candace is just like, no, he didn't tell Candace because Mara was just like, Candace isn't going to change her vote. And Candace hasn't changed her vote, which shows like she's playing the game like this is who I think it is, boom. So Rob is just like, why are we trying to change it up at the last minute? And I need them to peep that, like, okay, so why would you, he's telling y'all, hey, why are we changing it at the last minute? Da 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 da. We said we're going for Ron, so why are we now trying to say that we're going for Colton? Some don't seem right, blah 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 blah, all this other stuff. So what's it called? Colton says in his confessional, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna hold a traitor hostage. Pulls Lisa to the side, and he was just like, I'll save you at the round table if you save me in the turret. And she's just like, what are you talking about? He was just like, I know you're a traitor, and I won't say nothing to nobody if you make sure that y'all don't get me in the turret. And she's just like, I'm a faithful. What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? And he was just like, I know, and all this other stuff. And I was just like, I don't like, on one hand, I'm glad that Candace stuck to her guns and it's just like, this is what it is. But this would have been the perfect time for y'all to have gotten Colton out. But because some of y'all are so stuck in your ways and y'all are so wishy-washy, y'all are they are some terrible faithfuls. Like I don't get it. But anyways, so they go into the round table, and as they're in the round table, Mark lays out, hey, Ron, with you doing with the Portia thing, and then you being friends with Donna, and she was a traitor. I feel like, and then also Colton, you put it on, you put it on Tiffany. And so, like, so he was just like, Ron, explain yourself or whatever. And Ron is just like, um I messed up with the first one. I had like enough evidence that would make me think that it was. I was wrong. I feel bad about it. Um and okay, I was friends with Donna, but okay, whatever. And he was just like, y'all hold me accountable for that or whatever. And then Colton says something. He tries to say something to Ron, and Ron was just like, but do you feel like you need to vote for me because you've gotten it wrong more than me? And he was just like, with Tiffany, and he was just like, no, you've gotten it wrong with me, with Portia, with Tiffany, and with Michael. But because we don't like Michael, everyone is off of it. But because y'all like Portia, y'all are still on me, and that's not fair. So if I'm being held accountable for what I did with Portia, you need to be held accountable for what you did with Tiffany and Michael. So that's two people that you did that to. And I only did it to one. But again, because we didn't like one person, y'all aren't harping on him. So Kristen was just like, yeah, if we hold Ron accountable for Portia, then we need to hold you accountable for Michael and Tiffany. And I was just like, finally, because again, Ron was 100% correct. Like, yes, you led the charge to get Tiffany out. You led the charge to get Michael out, and no one is batting an eye at you. But Ron led the charge, and he had like good evidence to be like, yeah, you do seem like a traitor. Because again, Portia may have misspoken, but if people don't know her saying, oh, when we sent him home and when we did this, and there has to be four traitors and all this other stuff, I would have thought that she was a traitor too. Like, the only thing that you had against the only thing that Colton had against Tiffany was she thought far ahead, because she said, I think it's X, 1, 2, and 3. We need to go for this one, and this one. That's the only reason why you thought she was a traitor, when you are actively doing exactly what she's doing, what she did. You just do it in a more like abrasive way. Like, come on. So he says, no, I'm not a traitor. I'm playing the game really aggressive. And Rob butts in, and he was just like, yeah, I don't think you're a traitor. I don't think Colton's a traitor, and I don't think Ron's a traitor. And it's just like Lisa and Candace are looking at him like, what are you doing right now? And it's just like, for real, what are you doing right now? Like, ugh. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, stick with the plan. Like, so I forgot who said it. Colton and Tara, I mean not Colton, but Tara and Johnny co-signed Kristen. And then someone said something, and Colton was just like, since my back is up against the wall, I'm just gonna put it out there. And I think Lisa's a traitor. And it's just like, he's done it again. He's right about that Lisa's a traitor, but he's doing it again. Like, your back is up against the wall, and you're just throwing out a name. And then he gives his spill, like, I didn't believe that. Why would a housewife vote for a housewife? It's like an unspoken rule or something like that. And Natalie co-signed it. And I'm sorry, before that, Jam Jam brought it back to Ron, and then someone said something else, and that's when Colton did what he did. And then so Natalie is, she co-signed it or whatever. And I was like, y'all keep harping on her voting for Portia the first night. One, she's not a housewife. She hasn't been a housewife for a minute now. And housewives go against each other. Like, that is what they do. Like, I don't get why y'all are harping on this. Oh, I wouldn't vote for a gamer. I wouldn't go against my own people, when it's just like, you don't have people in this game, because there are people that are traitors. A gamer can be a traitor. A housewife can be a traitor. Anyone can be a traitor. So for you to say, oh, I wouldn't go against X, Y, and Z because they're not, they're a part of my crew, or where they're a part of the place that I came from, it makes no sense to me. But they're all harping on this. So they go to do the vote, and they do vote off Ron, and Johnny's eight didn't do what they were supposed to do. Of the eight people that they were of the eight people that he told about what they were going to do, only him, Tara, and Kristen voted for Colton. Lisa voted for Colton because she was just like, you saying I'm a traitor, I think you a traitor, because sir, you've gotten it wrong more than anybody in this place and you're still here. So yeah, I think you're a traitor. Like, so Colton, it was like when he did his vote, he was just like, finally the real Lisa comes out. And I was just like, I cannot stand his smug behind. I need him to go. He is beyond annoying. Like, I don't like him. I do not like him. He is terrible. Like, and the more that I've learned about him saying that he's gonna hold Lisa hostage was so nasty. And especially with the background that he has, like, and the fact that Rob is following him along, and it's just like, Rob, you're a Colton, just not on the creepy level, but you are another Colton. Like, and ugh. So Eric voted for Lisa because he is wishy-washy, and he's following Colton also. And it's just like, Kristen vote not Kristen, Natalie voted for Lisa. Steven voted for Ron. Jam Jam voted for Ron. Dorinda voted for Ron. Maura voted for Ron, and Maura is starting to get annoying, because she's just there. She don't do nothing. Um, and Rob voted for Lisa, and it was just like, because he was just like, I don't think that Ron is a traitor, and I don't think it's Colton. And the reason why, okay, so I forgot this, and I do apologize. Um Ron said, the only way that I can prove to y'all that the only way I can prove to y'all that I don't know why I can't talk. The only way that I can prove to y'all that I'm a faithful is if I let y'all write my name down on the board, and I get up there and tell you guys that I'm a faithful. So, with that being said, I'm going to say my goodbyes. So, he started saying goodbye to everybody. And as he was saying his goodbyes, a lot of people were just like, yeah, I don't think he's a traitor. Natalie said it. Um, uh Tara said it, Rob was saying it, and they were all like, "Oh snap, I don't think he's a traitor." And with that happening, um Colton was seeing that, and he was just like, "Oh snap, they don't think he's a traitor. They're going to vote me out." Boom, and that's when he threw out Lisa's name, and that's when it got all kerfuddled again. And Candace was just like, "We're doing it again. We're saying one thing, and then we're going back to another, and then we're switching it up at the last minute or whatever." So again, Candace voted for Ron because she said, I'm staying consistent. And Ron was just like, thank you for being consistent. So again, Rob voted for Lisa. Candace and Lisa are pissed. Mark voted for Ron. So they send home Ron. They find out he's not a traitor. They find out he's a faithful. Then Colton tells Lisa, if I have to bring both of us down to get you out, then that's what I'm going to do. And I was just like, again, you're acting like a creepy stalker. And everything that Michael said about you was in fact true. And again, just because they didn't like Michael because they took what he said in a way that, honestly, again, I still don't think he's meant it that way. They're on the I hate Michael train. Again, I don't like Michael either. He was annoying, but he wasn't wrong about Colton. I'm sorry. So after they send him home, they find out that they're gonna have a banquet tonight or whatever. Everybody leaves the round table. They all go their separate ways. Lisa's pissed. She's looking for something to drink. Um Candace is taking up for her, and Mora was just like, "Well, you've messed up too." And Candace was just like, "Yeah," and Mora was just like, "Yeah, you've messed up. You've messed up multiple times too. So yeah." And it's just like, and so have you. So what Candace was saying wasn't anything bad. She wasn't coming at you in any type of way. She was talking to the group and saying Colton has thrown people's names out there and has been wrong on every occasion. Honestly, the only person that Candace, the first day, the first roundtable, Candace voted for Donna. She thought Donna was the traitor. That was the first person that she voted for. And then with what happened with Ron, she has only voted for Ron since then. So Candace has only messed up once, and that was with Ron. She was right about Donna because Donna was a traitor. So Mora, you go whichever way the wind blows. So miss me with that. I ain't like that because I was just like, girl, Candace has only been wrong once because at every round table, Candace has always voted for Ron. The only time she has switched up her vote was the very first vote, and that was for Donna, and she was right about Donna. And ever since then, she has been voting for Ron. So yeah, miss me with that. I did not like that at all. Um, yeah, I didn't like that. So Colton comes in and Lisa tells him, "Look, don't expect me to be a housewife. Don't expect me to do things as a housewife because I was Lisa effing Renna before Housewives and I'm Lisa effing Renna after Housewives. So don't play with me." And I was just like, I know that's right. You better tell him. You better tell him who you are because Colton needs to go. And I wish this at this time that Candace would have changed her vote to vote for Colton. So that way we could have at least had a little bit more. But again, I don't think that even if she did change her vote, there wouldn't have been enough because again, Mark Punk behind didn't do what he was supposed to do, and Eric Punk behind didn't do what he was supposed to do either. Because it's just like, Eric, sir, you followed Colton and got out Tiffany, and now you're following Colton again by voting out for voting Lisa, and it's just like so annoying. But yeah, so after that, Rob is ducking and dodging. He's trying to hide from Candace and Lisa. They finally catch up to him, and they like have a little kerfuddle in the kitchen. Nobody is coming in, and they're like, pissed at him, and they're just like, what's wrong with you? Why would you do that? Because again, it's like, why would you do that? But I I will say I understand why he didn't vote for Colton because that is one of his peoples or whatever. So I can understand why he didn't vote for Colton. Why he voted for Lisa, I don't know. I feel like he did that because he's also letting Colton know that I trust you. So if you're saying it's Lisa, then I'm going to vote for Lisa with you, which again, to keep his allyship in the house with Colton, that makes sense. I can see why he did that. But at the same time, for you to throw out your fellow traitor, like you have, I'm guessing in the way this game is, you getting rid of a, I don't know if I don't know if he should have did it so soon. Like, I don't get it. I don't know. Cause it's just like, I don't know, would they all, if all the traders make it to the end, would they be able to split the money, or is only one trader going to be able to get it? Or like, I don't get how that's going to work. I'm really going to have to, well, once this season is over, cause let me see, it looks like we have a few more episodes, so I'll find out how it is, but I'll go back to the other season so I can see exactly like how it should be or whatever. But it's really, for me, it just seems like it's really soon for him to turn on his fellow trader. But yeah, so we find out that There's going to be a murder in plain sight at the banquet, and the traitors found that out the night before when they found out that they couldn't get rid of anybody that night, but they were going to be able to get rid of somebody this night. And the way that they're going to do it is at the banquet, one of them has to wear like an amulet or a brooch or whatever, and whoever touches the brooch is the one who's going to be gone. And it was just like, now why would y'all give it a brooch? Because if you gave it a brooch, only two people could wear it. It would either have to be Lisa or Candace, because if Rob wears it, then it's going to be very obvious. So Lisa saying, she's gonna wear it. And now, like, the night before, they had decided that Lisa was gonna wear it and they were gonna go for Colton. And now, because Colton has put her name out there, she can't go for him because one, he's not gonna go anywhere near her at the party. And two, if she does get him out, then it's gonna be real obvious that it's her. So she has to figure out now who she wants to get rid of. And it was a good episode. I'm gonna be back with the next episode. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you'll know whenever I'm done. And make sure you get down in the comments. Tell me guys what you thought of the episode, and I will see you guys in the next one.